Let's see. Delfino, I know you had a little medical thing you had to do. That certainly comes as a priority. And Edward and Tomas, sorry to miss you guys. Let's kind of do our normal Tuesday, and let's start with Master Ray up here. Welcome to the Leadership Mastery Group, Ray, and
Sure.
tell us about what are some of the top takeaways that you had from the meeting. You had posted quite a few of them already in the circle group yesterday or
Yeah.
last night or something like that. But what were some of your impressions and takeaways?
Well, just first of all, just how it stretched me. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know and what that next level is. So I appreciate everyone just sharing and being open and gracious about their experience. That has helped already expand my vision of things. The other things are a lot of small things like you one of the things run the payment before you start trying to do all the paperwork. And because a lot of things, of course, get kind of bogged down and things in that, but just run the payment, then catch up with the paperwork. So little details like that, I mean, priceless. I love you simplified my enrollment engagement to enroll. So I'm working on getting that down, so I'm not trying to get again bogged down in details. You get this, that, and the third. Just give them the amount. I love the how you express that, and so that has been real well. And another thing was the parents class. We implemented that yesterday, as shared in the circle group. I did it. I went with your style. So I just, as parents came in, I said, "Guess what?" And I handed them a gi. And so in that very first class was our advanced group, and we had all the parents except for one that came out on the floor and participated. And so,
Good.
yeah, so that was successful. Um, and I was able to meet with my staff and just share the mindset that we're moving forward with, which was good. I'm, basically creating a new team of people. And the one woman who had been kind of my main person, she's shifted a little bit with her timing and everything. So I'm giving her a new title. So she's going to head up my marketing outreach for events. She can work that in with her schedule nicely. And so now I'll just find someone to take on that role of program director. But the others are going to be part-time and getting them focused on what they can do. So I mean, the weekend and being there has just been very impactful so we can get things going. Spoke with uh, spoke with five people in my morning seniors group. Three of them are going to go to Masters Club. One of them is going to go to black belt level, and then I'm now going to be working with the children's classes, but with the caveat that I'm very focused on getting new people going, getting that next 100 people. And then I guess the other thing that was really impactful, the final thing, well, not the final thing, but another one, when you shared call them back in 30 seconds and you'll get 90%. Every person that's dinged my phone and I said I'm going to do it first before I have anyone else do it. And I call them back, they're so excited, and I think I've had like five calls and I've gotten them all on the schedule to come in a couple this
Excellent.
afternoon. And so just understanding that, hey, it works. We just, get to do it. And it's a happy discovery that, that these things work. We just get to work it.
Yeah, yeah. And so this was actually your first meeting with us at all.
Yes, sir.
How did it match with your expectations? What was your
Oh,
what did you think?
I mean, I had high expectations, but I mean, you all outstripped all of that. I mean, I was sharing with Mr. Bowen. We talked this morning, and I was just sharing with him that just even when I first arrived, Jason and we met, and he gave me a mini seminar before the main seminar, which was awesome. And I told him, I said, man, even just that, there was just value from the time I arrived until the time I left. Everyone is just everything was really great. So, no, what I experienced was way more than what I expected. It was really great.
Fantastic,
Hey,
fantastic.
Mr. Albert, can I ask
Hey,
you a question?
good.
How the heck did you get five calls in 48 hours? Where were they from,
Website.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay.
but yeah,
Yeah,
when it dings my phone, I just call them right back.
I think it's been 24 hours. You get
excellent.
five calls.
Yeah.
Let's shift to two of our more senior members of the group. Krista, I'll go to you since you showed your true competitive underpinnings there with Jason. I hope you have your security system turned on at night because
Oh.
Krista and Heidi are both coming for you. Krista, what were your takeaways?
Well, as always, I always get a lot of like nuanced things to do at my
Mhm.
school because I feel like now that I've been with the group for a while, I'm still understanding things in new ways. And yes, I went and downloaded all of my notes from the meeting. And yesterday I met with my staff and we did a deep dive into the intro process because one of the things that you recommended was to fix my conversion rates. That was a
Mhm.
big part of that, retention and conversion rates. So we did a massive training yesterday on the intro process and improving it. I took some things that I learned from Romanelli, which is that personalized touch of adding the postcard after the intro lesson. We're really glad that you came. Make sure that you have your white belt self-discipline challenge done. Make sure that you are, if we know what their goals are, let's start focusing on, discipline or whatever your goals are. I like what you said at the beginning of the meeting. I think it was Master Moody said, and I wrote this down. Just now he said this. For the intro lesson, you have a personalized video. I like that. And the more personal we could be. And really like another thing that happened yesterday that was somewhat of a direct result of the meeting is I had someone, my staff, because they're still new and learning how to do scheduling, they scheduled a second intro for the wrong time. So this person comes in, they're super excited, they have their white belt challenge done, they're at the wrong time. And, we were on it, my staff and I were on it, that's our fault. So we took this kid to the side, gave him a private lesson, and he's like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. And on their way out, the dad was like, I am so impressed with your program. I can't wait to come back for a group lesson. I'm going to bring my wife next time because I made sure we're getting both parents. That was another thing that, to be reminded of at the meeting. And I'm so grateful that it is my competitive side a little bit, but when you said, let's go over Heidi's numbers, I was like, I have my numbers. So, I was lucky. I got almost an hour just to myself on, I'm sure it helped other people as well, but on what, I'm missing at my school. So I'm excited to take my school to the next level this year.
Good. Let's go to another veteran, Master Harrison. What were some takeaways that you and staff had from the weekend?
Well, in a moment, I'll let staff chime in, but uh, well, first off, it is always good, and I probably say this every time. It's good and it's energizing to get together with everybody. And as much as is learned in our group classroom, you pick up a lot also just on side lunch conversations, after hours, whatever it might be.
You bet.
Uh, the ensuring the more personal touches, again, that was just mentioned, is something that we talked about and are going to start implementing, a few more cards actually being put in the mail and going out. I reaffirmed some of what I knew going in, and I'll use a sports metaphor, but we're not blocking and tackling. And that's what we need to get back to. Being fortunate enough to have been a part of the group for so long, there is a lot of the things that we know what we should be doing. It's just a matter of keeping on track and not letting us drift from those things, because at first you drift without even noticing, and at a certain point you realize you're not even heading in the same direction. So you've got to make sure that you keep up the basics, if you will, and execute them, and that you don't stop. So that's been a big part of us, I think, of our weekend. And again, we always pick up a couple of new nuggets, but for the most part, reiterating the fact that we just need to do what we know we need to do. So I'd say that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, it's a reminder of things that aren't necessarily being implemented very well.
Yes, sir.
And Vanessa, do you want to pick up from there?
Yes, sir. I would have to agree 1,000% because a lot of the notes that I have written down here, I've written down probably a million times. But the main little things that stuck with me is like the tap card. We don't have a tap card. And I feel like that would be really beneficial for us, especially when it comes to getting new students and when we're talking about saving the contacts, because you don't know if they ever do. Might as well have a little tap card to do that. But then also seeing Grandmaster Moody's booth setup. Ours is a little weak compared to that. We should get a better prize wheel, have the free karate sides on it, have that be the main thing on the prize wheel section, and then have plus whatever the thing is that you want them to earn. And then also having the postcards be reiterated. So like the handwritten postcards, because we do the little note cards for all of our students, but having that just be mentioned again so that I can again mention it to my staff and say, hey, look at this school has an incredible percentage rate. And if we want to get there, they're doing this. And I've been saying this for how long? We need to do that now. So really just kind of sitting that in. And then the renewal section, when we're talking about renewals, I don't remember who said it, but adding a qualifying section at home, I feel like that's a good idea as well. We don't have a qualifying section at home, but I feel like that could be maybe useful too.
That's what you mean, giving them a specific goal during black belt qualification to go home and make sure that they're achieving, and we can then measure that as a part of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something that their parent specifically wants them to work on at home.
I guess my main takeaways from the conference was the kind of the end of the day things that we did. Just like going over the cards and seeing who is like on track and making sure that they're not falling behind, especially when testing time comes around, as well as making sure, like she said earlier, with the postcards, writing those out and sending them to the students, as well as something else, the script training. I really enjoyed that. Just making sure that even though if a person has something coming up, then we can be able to just be like, okay, yeah, we can pencil you in for this day or this day. I like the training with that, and I'm really excited to have that implemented into our curriculum with the other staff.
Excellent.
We caught like 6 people last night that weren't scheduled for testing, right? Just by actually taking the time to go through the cards. We would have the cards with us in our meetings, but quite honestly, and it's probably my fault, that I'd say, well, does anybody have anything? And of course, at 9 o'clock at night, everybody's, nope, we're ready to go. So instead, we had we all went through the cards as we should, card by card with a quick, well, good. Oh, look at this one. And when I say how important it is that we caught 6 people that are scheduled for testing, we're in the second week of testing week. There's today, tomorrow, and Thursday to finish up. So it was important that we got, we caught that and we got them scheduled.
Excellent. Good. James, Debbie, what were some takeaways you guys had? You have to unmute.
My biggest one was both parents, both parents, both parents, both parents. I sent myself 5 emails saying both parents, both parents, both parents. I have it written down about 20 places, an asterisk, both parents, both parents. And you know who's so funny to watch is Grandmaster Smith. And I can see it when he does it. Oh, well, yeah, go get your program director. Yeah, go get your wife. Wait, you can't come in without mom. And you guys model what you teach, that's for sure. One of the other big things is we used to do, and of course we've gotten out of it. You know, somebody once told me even champions need to be reminded. And that was to get that master list going where every semester, our semesters are 8 weeks per year model. And having that master list and making sure that our leadership team members are sending out good job notes and that I'm looking at birthdays and anniversaries and just having everybody involved in one master list. I also really liked the my karate schedule where I go through and I tell them these are the days, this is your notes, this is your next training conference, yada yada, this is your time to next graduation, this is an estimated time for black belt, take this home with you. And I think that will help as well. Now, if we could just get some of our phones ringing and doors swinging, and it's not because we haven't been doing events lately. We've done more events in the past 3-4 months than we've done in probably the last 5 years. And I don't know, we're just getting back into it's hard. So replaying the spin the wheel, those types of things were very helpful. So I have like, I don't know, 40, 50 pages of notes to go through. And, you know, we got home yesterday. Wait, no, what day is it? No, we got home Sunday, late Sunday. Monday's the first day of test week, so it's a normally busy week anyhow. So getting those notes transcribed and then prioritized into ABC. I need to do these 5 first. These 5 can wait a week. These 5 can wait 2 weeks so that I don't get so overwhelmed that I have so many things and I do none.
Excellent. Yeah. Yeah, it's very important to have a short to-do list. James, what would you add to that?
I come to those meetings for some of those kind of things, but I come at it with the curriculum and the existing system in place in mind as well. And I always come back with another piece to the puzzle. So, one of the things, and you said it, get your pens out, write it down. Is this activity going to help us get new students? Is this going to help us keep students longer or renew them? That was key. And of course, everybody on the meeting's probably heard that a million times, but like my wife said, even champions need to be reminded. I got a couple of cool ideas that I don't know why it didn't occur to me, but with our black belt prep cycle, doing the 8 weeks on a specific level, beginner, then intermediate and advanced, and rotating through that. I haven't been doing it that way, and I thought, oh, that makes total sense, and it works out really well with the new going from 10 weeks to 8 weeks and how that lines up with our black belts semesters of 16 weeks. So that becomes their midterm exam, and then it all fits together now. So every time I come out, I get a little extra piece that helps it make more sense, so that I don't frustrate our students, existing ones, which I do all the time by making changes and shifts and things, and they're not always coherent shifts. Then I have to go back and make another shift to fix the thing that I didn't see when I made the first shift, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I tend to get out of these things at the moment more than anything else, is just fixing my broken systems.
Excellent. And by the way, as a reminder for everybody, Jason's always our all-star on notes. And but anybody who has notes, photos, group photos, any little videos you took, Todd, I know you did some video during the meeting. Post all that stuff in the circle group. It's always helpful for everybody else and really beneficial. So that would be much appreciated. Sam, it seemed like you got a lot out of this meeting. What were some of your takeaways?
Absolutely, sir. This meeting, I think, really, I was telling our head instructor, Master Vertoli, this today, that I felt like this meeting kind of removed the fog from, the direction that we were going. We're definitely looking at fast and pretty aggressively changing our program to leadership first, Black Belt Club is the fallback. So a lot of the information we got through that weekend is going to be helpful to that paradigm, including, adding in the bookwork at the basic level, how to turn that into a rotating curriculum all the way up to first degree Black Belt. So those are probably going to be where we put our efforts first to make some of those changes. And some things we haven't gotten into just yet, but the marketing changes that we're looking at making, the suggestion about getting parents involved early, so getting parents on the floor, giving the next couple parents that walk through the door, if we can't get them on the floor and actually get them paying, giving them a bits of free time to help the perception of the class being a family class. And once we can get parents on the floor, get that perception of this being a family class, then it'll be easier for us to hook parents in for actual tuition and moving through our program. So I'm excited to get a few of these things, set up and going, but we're hitting the ground running on this pretty heavily.
How did the experience of this meeting compare with what you're used to?
Well, I think because we had a goal on what it is we wanted to touch on, that it made it a lot better, just in regards to us being able to, all right, figure out what everybody's going, because there's so much information, so much awesome information, but sometimes it's tough to link what you're hearing to what exactly you want to fix and improve. And I think with us having a very specific idea on where we knew we were having issues, the moment I was hearing information to help solve those problems, boom, it was, right away hitting, oh my God, this is the change, this is the solution, this is how we're going to get ourselves to like the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. And Sam, you were a great contribution for the meeting as well. I so think everybody was, truthfully, but thank you so much for that. And by the way, it's a quick aside, Fahad and Adam, you guys did some wonderful reviews for the book. That's much appreciated. And you both did a really nice video. If you guys could send over that video by email or something where we can't pull it out of Amazon, we'd love to reutilize that video in a lot of other places, probably in the Facebook advertising as well. So I would much appreciate it, and thank you. Master Harrison, I was giving him grief for not doing a review of the book, and he had done a beautiful review. He's just listed as Amazon user. So from now on, he's Master Amazon user, I believe. James did a wonderful testimonial for the book. That's very much appreciated. Sherry did a marvelous testimonial for the book in Amazon. And imagine if everybody else on the meeting went into Amazon and went to Extraordinary Teaching and did a beautiful 5-star review, how powerful that would be. So I'm sure that everybody else, as soon as we get off the meeting, is going to go do that for us. And of course, Master Moody, you did a marvelous review. Master Smith,
Master Oliver, you got to say, everybody get out your phone right now. Like the
get
Master
out your
Moody
phone
thing.
right now.
Everybody get out your phone right now and write Master Oliver a 5-star review.
5-star review on Amazon. That's exactly right. Heidi, you're up next. What were your takeaways from the meeting?
Okay. I wrote
and
them
by
down.
the way, Master Wells is eternally grateful because we were going to go through your stats thoroughly, and turned out you didn't have your stats, and so she got her competitive edge and competitive insights in your stead, rather than being you and her. So she was even happier about that. Is that a fair thing to say, Master Wells?
I'm happy to support Heidi in any way possible. So I, I hope that going over my stuff's helped you too.
I hope it helped
It- it-
everybody.
it- it-
I
it-
think
it-
even,
as
yeah,
long as Master Wells does 3 million this year and you do 2.7, she'll be tickled to death.
Yes, or we could both
Yes.
do 3 million. I'd be tickled to death either way.
why don't they have the lobster dinner bet, sir?
I think they should. This
Yeah.
has to be this has to be a
Ascend.
lobster that's eatable,
We'll go to
rather than
Ascend.
one that has expired overnight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we should have a lot of lobster bets or comparables to that. Oh, and Heidi, I tracked down your perfect Rolex, by the
Oh, I
way,
can't wait.
at
Perfect.
the airport. Crown and Caliber.
Oh, perfect.
Go to crownandcaliber.com.
Okay. Okay.
Where'd you find her?
Oh, I found her several Daytonas. Here would be the thing I would suggest. If you're going to get a Rolex, get a sport watch, not a dress watch. With the lifestyle that we all lead, a Datejust Jubilee bracelet, you're more likely to break, pop the band, throw it across the room, break the mainspring. I did that once with my Rolex Presidential when it was about 4 months old. It went flying across the room as I did a back fist with it. But the Submariners and the Daytonas and the GMTs all have the double click bracelets.
This is the best one that's most durable. You can wear it. I punch, wear it in class and can punch and do all this stuff, and they just never go bad.
That's a two-tone Submariner date with a blue face. But yeah, the sport watches, and for women, the Submariner might be a little big, but the Daytona is not nearly as voluminous. So there you go.
You need like a 39. You can get a 39 that would look good.
Yeah, there you go.
Hot wears on his wrist and his ankles. He's got 4 on.
Yeah.
But you can put a big watch on a small. I have a small wrist and a big watch.
Yeah. You were wearing Fahad's Daytona. It looked perfect.
Make sure you change arms on that Fahad, because that one arm you're going to look like a tennis player. It's going to get so big because that thing was so heavy.
He's got one on the other arm.
Right. Yeah, there you go. But Heidi, what were your takeaways from the meeting?
Okay, so this meeting I think it was like a really pivotal point in my career as a martial arts owner. I started Taekwondo when I was 8. I was on the U.S. national team. I did sport Taekwondo, and I ran my business with my ex-husband, but we were the practitioners for a lot of things. So this meeting was really eye-opening in the sense that I need to build my business based upon systems, not me. And I think like Master Tim and I were talking, and personality, right? It's a lot easier. Maybe it can get you certain places with just your personality, right? But that's going to really base you at your business for the rest of your life, and it'll be more of like a ball and chain than creating systems for you to be able to teach your staff how to do all the things that we get done. So that was it changed my mind from being a practitioner to an owner operator. I think this is another big takeaway was if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So I think sometimes you push us to do things where it's like, what is he taught? That's outlandish. Oh my gosh, what $497 a month for a basic class and $797 a month for leadership? Like Master Oliver has lost his marbles, right? But I love how you're constantly pushing us to do industry, to be industry leaders, and to literally push us out of our shells and to do amazing things. And I think that we all need that. So that was another huge thing. And then like more personal, but I'll share. So, I posted on Facebook like, oh, the best meeting I've ever been to. And people were reaching out to me and saying, oh, what meeting did you go to? Right. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the Stephen Oliver group. And I think that can almost taint you, because what happens is they'll start saying like, oh, I have 700 students, but I charge $175 a month, and then they start justifying why they charge that much, right? And I think for me personally, I just need to stay away from anybody that is not on the same page with me. So just making sure that my circle is really, really tight, and that I'm hanging around people that want me to win and that are like-minded so that I can become super successful. So that was a huge takeaway for me. And then I said the last one was build system based around system, not around me. And then literally listen, I think I kind of shared this with some people, but this was the first meeting that I went to where I wasn't completely just super confused. Like, what the heck? Like, I was like, oh, I know what the 8-week renewal system is. I know what, like, I know the basics of an enrollment conference. I know what a renewal, like, it was like the first time where I could actually hang on to everything you guys were saying, which is really great because I feel like a lot of times too is just flying by the seat of my pants and just trying to play catch up and just do whatever I could to try to make money, which, hey, whatever, it got me to where I'm at, right? But I think now just really understanding the systems, breaking it down and not having to fly by the seat of my pants and just really building out awesome systems, but listening to what the systems you guys suggest are, I think is gonna be very important for me moving forward.
Did you go back and look at the rotating curriculum sheet that I handed out and
I
then
did
understand
yesterday,
it?
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday with my team, I literally set a timer on my phone. And I was like, I am not going to talk about this any longer than 30 minutes because the three things that I needed to talk about were retention, marketing, and systems. So it literally took 30 minutes for each thing that I was like, I have to implement. And I talked about it with my staff and really tried to drive all this home. But yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Oh, sir, now that you mentioned that, I do also need to give one more takeaway. For years, I've been against rotating curriculum, and I think all of us at the school have. And this meeting convinced me to go to a full rotating curriculum. So this was the one that did it for us. So yeah, that's another thing that we're looking to implement pretty aggressively.
Yeah, and I sat down with my staff too, and we talked about like the books that were on your rotating curriculum, which was so interesting. And then like having the breakdown of like blocks, forms, book reading, and then it was like weapons, book reading, forms, and it was just like this, rotating thing. And I'm like, oh, look how simple this is. It's not complicated.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it seems complicated until it's not. It's one of those. It takes people a while to get it done, get their head around it. Sam, so you'd been resisting rotating curriculum for that long?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been doing some things on a rotating curriculum. Like our basic program is completely, in a rotating curriculum. We have some aspects in our Black Belt Club, but when it comes to forms and things like that, we've been strongly resistant against it up until, like I said, I went to the meeting. I was like, oh my God, we got to do this. And I think
sounds like me 20 years ago, Master.
Can I add something too? Like because I was really scared to add rotating curriculum or like change the schedule and stuff like that. And I think once you just tell the people, you're like, oh, we're just doing this. And they don't know the difference, right? So they're just like, all right, cool. Like there's really no pushback.
Yes, ma'am.
It's the same thing. What I came to realize was that they learn all the same stuff. They just learn it in a different order. And who cares? It's all in the beginner. It's all in the intermediate. It's all in the advanced, so they are separated that way, but they didn't learn any less. They didn't learn any more. It's the same exact curriculum, just taught in a different order. And nobody goes from the beginner black belt training to intermediate black belt training without going through all the same forms they did before. So it's a no-brainer, but once we did it, it did make the instructor's job so easy. It was amazing.
And I did have one more thing too.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. When Grandmaster Smith was giving us an example of using the words, this is black belt concentration and others, black belt concentration, black belt listening. So I used what I remembered yesterday, and I got this message, and I posted it. And the grandmom was sitting in the back, and it goes to teaching from the floor, and she said, "Thank you, Olive loved it. We talked about black belt listening all the way home and how she could do that with her dad and mom. I'm excited for her. Thank you again. It was excellent." And it just goes back to those little things that it's easy to say it any old way, but we're getting detailed expressions that make sense, and it shows that it truly was the value for her. She didn't say anything about the block that I taught or the kick that I taught. She spoke about black belt listening, and it made an impact. So just proper use of language, and then I just got a message from her just now that says completed her one of her 3 black belt discipline items in her list. So proud of that. Can't wait to get back and get her white belt. So those little things mean so much. So
excellent. Fahad, what were your takeaways from the Scottsdale meeting?
I think a lot of things got demystified in this event. Because the first time we were just I was just taking a lot of things in, what the structure should be, went to implement it, things were working, not working, we were confused. And then there were a lot of like light bulb moments. First thing that was very inspiring was Master Moody saying, "Be interested, not interesting." And that was important to know, that listen more than you talk. Other was, don't need to justify or validate when there are objections. Make them feel heard, but that doesn't mean you validate them. The whole thing with the book, like with the rotating schedule, was very scriptive. It's a blueprint that can be implemented without much guesswork. So that was very interesting. And working closely with the staff rather than just relying on them, because they're the practitioner, I'm on the business side. Now I'm getting involved. Yesterday was the first day I actually sat all the staff down, especially coach. Usually I've always felt intimidated by coaches because I'm not a coach. But I basically kind of had a talk with them that we are here to make leaders, but you guys need to be the product first. We can't make leaders if you guys are not the leaders. So we're leader makers. So there's some staff members we had that were just not performing well. They're good practitioners, they have the passion, but they were just not doing a good job with coaching. So I kind of set the expectation with everyone that everybody's a head coach from this point on. We only have 2 positions, either you're a coach or you're coaching training. Decide which one you are. So that was kind of good yesterday. And then we are going to meet today to talk about the breakdown of the basic, the black belt, and the leadership, because lines are a little blurred for us in between those. So we're going to put a little bit better structure to it. We were going from basic to, we call it champions, it's essentially black belt, but that's an automatic upgrade. You do 3 months, you're automatically in that. There's no like repricing, renewal, anything like that. So we're going to fix that. Uniform, don't nickel and dime. Just, get whatever you want to get on the tuition, and give them the uniform, no pro shop, stuff like that. Retention and marketing was big. There's a lot of things, because right now I'm struggling with marketing, I'm struggling with leads. So there were a lot of things that they were outside of my peripheral vision, that kind of came in, that, okay, these are the things I need to focus on, and now is go time. So very, very insightful. Having a staff member was helpful, because now there's 2 people thinking, 2 people collaborating. I know you guys had said that to me before too, but it was really good having both of us there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's the more staff you can have at the live meetings and on the Zoom meetings, the better off it is. It's way easier to get everybody on the same page. Very, 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 very good. Hand it off to you, Master Purcell. What's for those who weren't there, what should be some things they should immediately get from the conversation and go and implement as quickly as possible?
So we had a great time getting to know Dean better. Dean is a really awesome guy. And again, like he's been in the group for 10 years. The first 5 years, I didn't even know he was in the group, right? And then he starts talking. You're like, oh, where have you been? So anyway, picking his brain. So one thing is, he's in Detroit, and he's in a suburb that is not very affluent. He said that the median household income is like 51K a year per family. And so he talked about that he goes through a lot of riffraff to get students who can't afford it, because he's got very high priced classes, and he realizes that, and he's going to go through a lot of people to get those people. And then they don't drop out, right? He gets them and he gets them. So talking with him about what stuff he does for that. So one thing is he really has an implementation with white belts. So in the basic class, they all start together, but then the white belts go off with his brother, and he holds their hand on, this is how you get your attendance cards. This is how you tie your belt. This is how you do all these things. He's really getting them comfortable, right? And getting them, okay, here's the belt test. This is what you're going to do, right? So he does that. And then talking about postcards, all the instructors, everybody's going to write at least 5 postcards a day. Junior instructors or like part-timers will write 3 postcards a day, right? And so everybody's doing that. So I also wrote down that I want to get some different stamps, like black belt stamps or some other things, so that a kid can personalize the postcard. Because again, it's not just send them a postcard, it's a postcard that's from someone, that's written down something, hey, great key ups today. That was awesome. You were super loud. I love your confidence. From instructor Casey or whatever, right? So that was something that we're going to start doing. Let's see here.
And I might suggest getting those note cards with an envelope, and then what some Master Smith did 30 years ago or more is everybody who was an assistant instructor and up all had their own business cards. Yep. So then they can insert their business card into it, write the handwritten note, and all of that kind of stuff. It makes it even a little bit more personal.
Are these postcards for intro students?
Business cards.
What's that?
Are these postcards for intro students or for new enrollments?
The postcards we're talking about for everybody. So if you have a lead, you've got a postcard for them. They come in for an intro, we got a postcard for them. They're doing classes, we're going to send them a postcard, right? Make sure everybody gets that at some point from an instructor, from a junior instructor that was working with them or something like that. Make those kids feel special, right? Was it Master Oliver or somebody said that this kid like slept with the postcard under their pillow for like a year because it meant so much to them, right? Yeah. So that's a big deal, right? The other thing is that Master Oliver asked Dean, how much do you think you spend on postcards, on flowers, on cookies and stuff like that? And Dean's response was, I don't know. It's just the cost of business, right? He spends a lot, right? He doesn't even realize, yeah, you just do it. And this is why his dropout rate is so low, is because it's a family. It's really a family. Just this is what you do. Like you don't think about, well, I got to get my kid a Christmas present. Well, how much money should I spend on them? I want to get them what they want because I love them. That's important. This is a big deal. Let's make the thing. Same sort of thing with this, right? We're going to make sure that everybody gets this. It's important. Hey, found out somebody's graduating high school. Okay, we're sending them flowers. And that's what Master Oliver talks about, right? Do that. Adam actually had a really cool thing, which was if a family has a baby, you can send them a bib, future black belt, or something like that. That's cute, but also is like, hey, we're looking forward to your kid getting into classes. That was kind of a cool thing. So
give them two. Like give them 2 bibs. The parents asked for a second one.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
And Jason, going back to Sherry's question though, he's sending a handwritten postcard after every first intro. It's just welcome, so glad to meet you, one thing or another. And then they have, and you can do it in several ways. What we always did is we had like, a red pen, a blue pen, a black pen, et cetera, where we would check off the ID cards. But what he has is just a list of all the students. And at the end of the night, all the head instructors, the assistant instructors are picking somebody on the list who hasn't recently gotten a note and sending them all a note. The way we always did is we went through all the ID cards at the end of the night. And the ID cards, that's what the checks were, is who had gotten a note recently and one thing or another. So we could pick people who hadn't gotten a note recently. And by the way, if you don't do that system, what happens is the instructors default to their favorites. So all the A+ students get a note every week, and all the C- with the bitchy mom gets no notes. So you want to make sure that everybody's getting the note every month and rotating through with that.
And so
something else. One other thing, while you're on the notes, when you're saying something good about the kid, the student, make sure you address it to them, not the parent, because kids don't ever get mail hardly, or at all. And so that's why the kid slept with it under his pillow, because it was addressed to him, and he got his own personal card that said how great he was doing, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. So we're going to get, we have the addresses written out on stickers. So they print it out, and then the instructors can grab that sticker and put it on. And now we know we got that kid. And then we also make a note on their attendance card, just a simple, quick note on the back of the card. So we know that we've sent this kid a postcard. If we don't see that with a date, oh, we haven't sent them a postcard in 4 months, we need to do it again. Oh, we just sent them a postcard last week, I need to get a different kid, right? So keeping track of that. We also talked about helping the dropout rate for teens. And Adam brought this up like a month ago in the group, talking about like, when, growing up, like the martial arts school was the place to hang out, was the place to be. When I was growing up, I was homeschooled for 5 years, and the church was the place to go. There were girls at church. I wanted to be with the girls, but also my friends were there. We'd go play basketball beforehand, and then we'd hang out. We'd do the whatever it was, then we'd hang out afterwards, right? That's a big deal. So how do we make the teens like, this is the place to hang out, this is the place to be with friends? So have a night, Friday night. It's a teens night. They come over, they can play Fortnite, they can do whatever, do some martial arts, but then just have some fun. Let them hang out, let them chill together. If you're doing stuff like that, that gets them to stay longer. So again, that helps with the dropout rate. So one other thing is we do a good job on the numbers, inputting the numbers at night. Master Oliver's point was have everyone do the numbers, because the point is we have a staff member, we have a part-timer, we want everyone knowing what the numbers are. So if the top people are just going through doing this, A, what happens if somebody's sick? Well, then is the other people putting that in? B, what's the point of the numbers is to know where are the holes? How do we fix those? So we need everyone to be a part of that every night, right? Next, and this is the thing that Master Oliver's brought up, and this is the thing that over the years I've kind of figured out. When we're talking about having a renewal program, when Master Oliver talks about, we'll double the price, it's normal for a lot of people to go, well, what do I get with that? If I'm doubling it, then I should get double the classes. I should get double the stuff, right? What is that? And the reality is that's not the point. Don't focus on that. His focal point is what's the end product? And all of us in here know what's a black belt. What benefits do you get as a black belt versus as a yellow belt, right? If you're a yellow belt and they quit, what benefits do they get? Nothing. They're going to forget everything really fast. So when they're a black belt, the confidence, the discipline, it's life-changing. That's the point. That's the value. That's what we need to be focusing on selling is it's the end product. That's what we're working towards. And this is one of the few things you can see the end result. If your kid says, I want to be on the soccer varsity team, great. Will they get cut? Will they make the team? You don't know. We can guarantee they'll get a black belt. I can't guarantee you what day, but we can guarantee that they will get it. Right? So focusing on that, I think is huge. The other thing, Master Oliver, that I loved was you said, your quote was, sports nowadays doesn't develop character. It weeds out the ones who don't have it.
Yeah.
Right? And that was really profound. I really like that. Next, we need to really focus on goal setting and how we're teaching goal setting. That needs to be the constant steps in the renewal or in the basic program, but also ongoing, right? We need to check in. Master Moody talks about that. How everybody, he's talking to the kids about what his next belt level is. Everybody does that all the time. Also talking about AI, that there's a lot of stuff with AI. A lot of martial arts schools think, hey, I get AI and now I don't have to answer the phones. Now I don't have to set appointments. And it's the opposite. AI should help you talk to people more. It's that personal friendship, that personal relationship. What we just talked about, what Dean does really, really well is he has that family environment. AI will never replicate that and make that worse, right? Yeah. We need to have that personal connection. That's really important. So use AI, but use it to talk to people more, right? I also talked about, like, if I'm calling somebody, they usually don't answer the phone like a lead. They usually don't answer the phone. I text them first of all, hey, this is Jason from Handling Black Belt Academy. I saw you were interested in the program. I was going to call you really quick. Just wanted you to know who it was. We send them that text first. they're like 50% more likely to pick up the phone and answer it. So send them a text. This isn't AI. This isn't a bot. They don't know who this text, and all that stuff. And then I think Master Moody talked about the dot card, at a booth event. And this is what Vanessa was talking about. Have the dot card so they know who you are and all that stuff. The other thing from Master Moody.
So do you get your contact information in their phone?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Master Moody's prize wheel was really interesting. So in the past, we've had like a pair of nunchucks, a pizza party, a Nerf battle party. And his prize wheel is all 2 weeks of lessons, 1 month of lessons, 5 private lessons, or whatever, all martial arts related, right? Because the point is, you're not trying to trick people to come in. You're trying to get them to do martial arts classes. If the kid just wants to come in and get the nunchucks, I don't want that kid. Right now, the hope is you do nunchucks and they get excited and you convince them they should do classes. That's the goal. His point is, yeah, but you're going to get some people that won't. Why focus on that? Just focus on the people that want to do it, right? So that was interesting. I talked about.
I might say it a little differently. Is people stress out about what should be on the prize wheel, and the only point of the prize wheel is to have the prize wheel, because it's basically a bait for them to come over and talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Master Moody changed the name of the basic program to Black Belt Qualifying Class. So just small little thing that I think is cool. The other thing is that on day one, in the intro packet, he writes down the date of the goal of their black belt, right? So day one, you're here. The whole point of this is a black belt, and it's a black belt qualifying class, right? So that was really good. Heidi, I wrote down, had a great mat chat for renewal step. Have everyone look around and find something that's blue. Now close your eyes. Think about that thing that's blue. Now keep your eyes closed. What was all the things that are red? You can't think about it, right? And the reason why is because our mind focuses on the things that we focus on. So if we don't talk about a black belt, you're not going to focus on becoming a black belt. But if we talk about this and we have these conversations and we think about this and we have these plans and exercises, that's how we're going to become a black belt. So I thought that was a great lesson.
If we tell our mind to set our goals to black belt, then our mind will do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then also I want to focus on, again, I talked about doing a hair salon referral system. So going to a hairstylist, having it where if they sign up a student or if they get somebody to come in, they get $100 or $200 or whatever, $400. That's fine. A lot of hairstylists will have parents, moms, they talk to them, they're doing their hair, they're finding out this mom has 2 kids. One kid just is driving her nuts because he's running all over the place, needs focus. Oh, well, hey, you should try Family Black Belt Academy. And then they get, the coupon gives them, $200 off or whatever it is. And then if they sign them up, then they make $250 or whatever. If they got 10 people, that'd be $2,500 that they could make that month extra from just referring people to us. So I want to try to reach out to some hair salons and try something like that. So anyway, that's the main stuff. Again, I'll post my notes. I've got a few other things, but every meeting is awesome. There's always things we're learning new. And then there's things that, as Master Harrison was saying, oh yeah, we're not doing that. Shoot, we're not doing that very well. We need to do better at that. That's right. We need to get back on that. That happens all the time. So yeah, great, fantastic meeting.
Yeah, very good. One of the things, Jason, that we did is like raffle ticket books. You can get them printed very inexpensively. And then you could give wait staff, hairstylists, etc., where they could just sell it for $49. Here's a month of lessons in the uniform. I managed to get some of these. It's normally $297. You can have it, I can get it for you for just $47. And they can just go ahead and sell it right on the spot and give them the, give them the slip. And then, they're getting paid up front. And you can always bonus them, on people who enrolled and so forth, if it's, if you can track it. But they're incentivized right up front. We did that with high school groups doing fundraising. We did it with, our black belts as doing fundraising for Chuck Norris's group, Kickstart or Kick Drugs Out of America. But we did it also for the hair salons and the wait staff in different places where they could just sell it. And instead of doing it as a charitable fundraiser, they could do it as a way for them to get a little bit extra money.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
So, Jason, it's funny to talk about hair salons dressed like your own right now. But I like that you said you're homeschooled. I wanted to be homeschooled. My parents said, yeah, find a new home. but he went to girls and God for church. So you were saying Detroit being riffraff, that's all of our area. But so I got a lot of good ideas. The first one is you gave Ben a book on Friday, Master Oliver. He said give him a review on Amazon. He can't do it because he didn't buy it. So he's got to buy a new book and give you a review because you can't leave a review unless you bought the book for a verified user. And I'll get you the video. Delfino, your doctor might be aerophobia. Those are people who are afraid of flying. We missed you there, buddy. Let's see. Where we at? So the postcards, I got about 20 I used in the past, like Ninjas Don't Take Days Off and a bunch of other ones. I would just get them printed by the hundreds. I'll try to find them and upload them because I used to use them all the time. And then I was just thinking, Jason, don't get a stamp because with mail it might leak. Get a notary seal, and you can have the kid punch it and through it with the little logo and have them sign underneath it. That'll last better and it'll be involved in the paper versus if it's rainy or something, the ink will leak. And then what we got?
Yeah, those are relatively inexpensive. They're actually, they emboss the paper, and then you can put if you want, you can put like a gold seal on it and emboss the paper. That's a cool idea, Alan.
All right, let's see what else I got. Thank you. Fahad, you're my hero. You're walking around with $70,000 worth of watches. And you're like, I opened a coffee shop. When's the grand opening? Oh, it's today. So you were at the event instead of going to your coffee shop. And then, Master Oliver, I sent you the thing. It's the gold watch, they said it was worth almost free if you buy the gold one. Is that true?
Say it again.
I sent you a link. It said people don't know this, but you buy the oyster and gold. The price is the same price, but you get 2 ounces worth of gold, which is worth like $8,000 versus the silver. It's the same price, but if you buy it, if gold keeps going up, the watch will basically be free with the value of gold. Is that true?
I don't know. I haven't done that analysis. My guess is in current dollars, no, because they certainly wouldn't be selling the watch for the value of the gold in the watch.
Okay. And then let's see, you guys were shocked I was there the first time. First one there.
You're on time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then James goes, hey, I got a beef with you. I go, what's the beef? He goes, you beat me at a tournament 11 years ago and showed me him kicking me in the groin. I didn't notice that. And then let's see, boom, postcards, seal, Ben there. Oh, I was thinking you should have a team for a table for ADD. Now, Fahad, you also broke the rules. You said coach 4 times and you said renewal twice. So it's instructors and upgrades. They don't let you say those 4 words. So, and then let's see what else we're at. But overall,
renewal is the right word. Upgrade is the wrong word.
That's what he said. He
Instructor
said
is the right
upgrade.
word. Coach is the wrong word.
Yeah,
okay.
Those. And then, but like I posted on the group, I didn't know that AI. I asked Copilot and ChatGPT. I thought it was a rule of 7. No, it says 8 to 20 times you have to hear something before it finally kicks in. So 6 of us made a pledge to six being broke. And, we all started around, 10 years ago and stuff. So we're all going to goal is get to $1 million. Now, I had another idea last night. If you could have a column and circle where we could post our stats, like you have a master's only, the leadership one only, where it would be just, we could put our weekly stats so you could just see them on there, which would also, like when I was part of Member Solutions, they had a choice. It was a number. Everyone was listed. But if you want, you go in there, edit, put your name. So I went from 3,000 was white belt, 6,000 was yellow belt, 8,000 was blue belt, and then 20,000 plus was black belt. So within my first year, I was listed as, black belt, school for Member Solutions with the name and location. And then they had like master level was 50,000, grandmaster was 100,000. And they would just show every month the stats. So if you had something where we could just put our stats in a different column and circle, where we would just go, okay, this many calls we did this week, all that leads, that would help us all out too, kind of motivate us. And
you bet.
Now, I don't think I've heard Sam or Romanelli talk. I wonder if Romanelli's a vampire because I've known him 25 years and he's not aged at all. But this is the most those 2 guys have talked in an event, and I was laughing my ass off. I've never heard, Bruce was swearing. They're fucking up my numbers. So that was fun. But, overall, the weather was perfect. The event was perfect, besides having 5 different Marriotts in the same street. But we got to see each other, got to hang out more. I was kind of mad we get a chance. I have 2 questions of this. I'll leave you on this. I'm switching this phone. iPhone 17 is going back and getting a Pro Max, but I got to find my old one. One is we get a chance to talk to Master Sam more about doing the live events. And then if you could post what the hell is Harry Potter night, what the rules are, what it is. Same with Secret Agent night. You said it 6 times, but I still have no clue what the hell any of that is. So we got 2 more months of winter, maybe 3. So I would like to make every other Friday where you tell the parents, hey, you got a free babysitter, bring a friend, and you guys go on a double date with your friends from, because, we're done with Friday classes. We've had 3 Fridays in a row, no one showed. But I had people show up on Christmas. We had class on Christmas, don't ask me. But I'd like to have every other Friday night be a buddy night until baseball season starts, because the kids don't even keep score in my area. It's just kids hitting, running, and stealing. But everyone's a winner. They don't keep score, but everyone plays baseball and soccer. So I want to start having Friday nights be the fun night at the dojo. And then overall, it was a great event. And I came home to 1.5 inches of snow in my car. But, if Romanelli's kicking butt 8 miles from me, and, we're going from there. So we learned a lot of refresher, a lot of review. But, the weather was perfect, and we couldn't ask for much more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Adam. We haven't gotten to Team Took or to Jeff Cash. Jeff, what are some quick takeaways that you had from the meeting? Did we lose Jeff? Maybe saw Jeff. Team Took, I don't know who all we have on the meeting here. You guys have some quick implementation takeaways from the weekend?
Can I say one thing about Team Took? They got great retention. Like, we were at Disney World, and all of them were on the train. Looked like a UFC. Everyone's wearing the ears. I remember we got on, I saw them. It looked like a UFC weigh-in. And the same crew is still with them 6 years later.
Good. Go ahead, Anthony, or whoever's on here.
Yeah, I don't know if they might be on. I'm at the Cypress location. But it was a really good event. We got to bring some of the instructors from the main academy. One of them, it was their first time, and he actually owns a music school. So it was pretty cool for him to be able to hear, I mean, basically the same principles to be able to apply it at in his business. But I feel like for me, comparing this meeting to the last meeting, it was like very big picture, because the perspective that I had at that point was I was just entering into owning a business. And this time around, it was a lot of small things that I feel that could basically change the retention system that I didn't feel like I had. One worry that I had as we are growing is that I know retention is something that, as the student body increases, becomes a little bit more difficult. Because right now we're at about 120, 130 students, and I'll lose 1 student a month. So pretty good currently, but I want 200 plus students. And if I don't implement a system now, I'm worried that when that does happen, I'll be falling apart at the seams. So I think the frame shift that I had was, instead of retention being a problem solved when the problem arises, it's more of a proactive system. All of the mail, I'm literally making them right now, sending out birthday cards. I'm getting postcards made right now, and just trying to be as proactive as possible with retention instead of waiting until someone wants to quit and addressing it then. So I feel like for me, it was a lot of small things. I know I spoke to Professor Travis about it, and it was a little similar for him. He's been in the group for so long, so he always says that it's nothing new, but healthy reminders. For me, it's seeing it from a different perspective. I was on the working side for so long, and now being on the leadership side, it's different, but it's rewarding.
You bet. And I think we got to everybody who was actually at the event. If I missed anybody, jump in. But just as in Master Sanborn, thank you so much for your contributions. I know you had to be in and out, but they found all of the live booths and everything else that you jumped in on very helpful. So we very much appreciate that. As a reminder, our next live event is literally the last day of April and the first couple of days of May. It's going to be here in Evergreen, Colorado, at the same hotel we've used a number of times. So put that on the schedule now. I should have the $1 million. I've got to make sure the hotel has secured it. My plan was for the summer millionaire group to be the same place, same hotel we did last time. So right there at the courtyard, right by Queen Anne. I think it's a Seattle downtown Lakeside or something like that. Do you remember what they called that particular hotel, Jason?
Yeah, it's the Marriott. I think you're right. I think Marriott Courtyard. Yep.
Yeah. Marriott Courtyard, Lakeside, or something like that.
Lake Union.
Yeah, Lake Union. There you go. They haven't given me a definite confirmation. So, but or at least that I have seen, they probably did while we were gone over the
You could
over the
try
weekend.
the other one, Master Oliver, the other Marriott that's right down on the waterfront.
Oh yeah, that was the Marriott Waterfront. I've used it any number of times, stayed at it any number of times, and it's also a real convenient location there.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah,
I got a text message when you were saying that. Can you say that again? What is this for Seattle?
Yeah, for the million dollar group, the July event would be tentative Seattle, same
Perfect.
hotel as last time, and
Awesome.
the fallback would be the other Marriott that Master Wells was just pointing out.
Master Oliver?
Master Oliver, that's the one on the waterfront my sister just stayed at last time she was there. And I mean, if you haven't been to Seattle, that's kind of, it's right close to Pike Place Market. People could walk to some of those, really iconic Seattle spots. It might even be a better fit for people.
The other thing, sir, I want to offer this, and you don't have to do this, but if you want, we had 22 people here for Christmas holiday in this room here. So if you want to use our house to host the event, you're welcome to do that. So consider that if you're interested.
Well, that's an interesting idea. That'd be a spectacular place to do that since you're offering.
And it's nice to be on the balcony with the water looking. So yeah, just if you want to use it, you're welcome to.
He's got great views of the water, and there's a fireplace out there. Of course, you won't need that in July, but
you might in Seattle, but parking wouldn't be a problem because there's plenty of on-street parking available there. Yeah. So okay,
it's only 10 minutes from that hotel.
No, it's just right there. So I like that idea. What were you gonna say, Adam?
So I got this idea from my student on the Allstate. He would go to Aspen all the time for free. I flew back from Orlando because I flew from Phoenix to Orlando. I flew back for $5. So if you guys get a credit card from one of your favorite airlines and pay Master Oliver every month with that one, but then also use it for gas, every dollar you spend, you get a mile. So I have got 30,000 miles left over, but it only cost me $5 to go from Orlando to Detroit because I have so many miles. So just something to think about. Use that. I told Nathan about it because, when you open up, they might give you a bonus one. But if there's a company you like, I used to get Spirit, now they don't come to Denver anymore, but you find out fly.
No. Never fly Spirit.
Yeah, I don't talk about Spirit was 5 times better than Frontier. I flew Frontier from Phoenix to Orlando.
That's the other one now. Never fly Spirit or Frontier.
Never, ever.
Southwest is working on getting on my bad side as well. They just decided to become like everybody else. So
Delta Visa then.
United is the other hub here in Colorado for my purposes. On that note, we'll call it a day.
Master Oliver, one more question about the May meeting. Is that going to be up in the mountains, or is that just like near the airport somewhere?
It's right next to my house, so it's Evergreen Golden.
Is that in the mountains, or does it take a trip up to the mountains and we stay there, or is it?
He lives on a mountain.
More ground level. I'm trying to prepare for my breathing.
It's 8,000 foot elevation.
Okay.
So it's not
just to let you know, my wife always gets altitude sickness at Breckenridge, but Evergreen she never has. She's always been fine.
Yeah.
Quick
so there is a big difference in the ski areas. That extra 1,000, 1,500 foot elevation makes a big difference.
But he lives on a mountain like James Bond villain.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's about 30 minutes from the airport, James.
Right off of I-70.
Yeah. And Herman, we were going to stay on after the meeting here if you can, and otherwise we'll call it a day.
Yes,
Matt Smith, I think you have an appointment in the other room, don't you?
Sir, I have a quick question just to go over the rotating curriculum.
Yeah.
We're implementing how many forms do you guys typically work on in one class setting, and how long do you guys take through forms? We're just trying to figure that out for scheduling purposes.
For forms?
Yes, sir.
Well, I wouldn't do anything for more than 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean you couldn't do the entire class with forms. It's just you've got to change the delivery, right? So if I'm memorizing steps for 10 or 12 minutes, that would mean I go to application. So here's a move from the form that we're learning. Let's do it with the blocker, or let's do it with the kicking target, or let's do it with something else. So you can do the same thing for an entire class. You've just got to have a shift so it's this guy's repetition along the way.
Absolutely. So if we're just going through forms, something like, 10 minutes, on the current form that they're working on in the rotation, would you work on maybe another form like the one in the previous rotation?
Usually not. Usually what I would do is do it in different patterns, right? So you're working through it on your own, then we're working through it